I mean, I did upload, but I'm not sure it's correct or not. To be honest, 5 minutes ago I tried, but I
Mhm.
didn't have a time to be honest, to check the 5 sceneries.
Okay. Did you complete it or are you still working on it?
I did it. I finished, but I didn't check the 5 sceneries. I just clicked and then it says that it uploaded to the the target table,
Okay. I
but I
think
didn't. Excuse me.
no, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just trying to at first step. I was trying to do the SCD2 type with a dynamic. At that time, I know how to do if I said I told myself that if it's gonna upload the data correctly later, I know how to add the error flag. I mean the error table. That's why
Okay.
right now I didn't do the error, but to be honest, I need to know how to make the logic on this assignment. That's why my assignment right now without error. But still, I don't know. Maybe you will say that it's not correct. It's mistake.
No, you'll have to test it out. I mean, just
Okay.
because you completed doesn't mean it's done. You
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
test it out as well.
Okay.
Tonya, how about you? You were asking some questions.
I tried. Yeah, I did a dynamic lookup, and it the info goes into the table, and I did the error table. But my error table is I have to truncate it every time. Like I
Yeah,
don't do.
error table has to be truncated every day.
Yeah, and dynamic lookup it just does insert and update.
It's not doing upsert.
Upsert.
Let
So
me
if I'm changing,
let me see your
yeah.
mapping. I don't want to
Okay.
spend too much time on this. I'll give you
Yeah, I
one more day.
probably did it. I probably did mistakes.
Yeah. So this is complicated, guys. So this is complicated. Okay.
Okay.
So if you can share your screen, I won't spend more than 10 minutes, 5 minutes on this. Okay. I'll give you tomorrow and.
Okay. I only added the error message and the error flag here.
Okay.
And I did the
Why?
router for.
Show me your. Okay, this looks okay. I would have done
Yeah.
slightly different. Double click on your router. Go to
I
group.
did this.
Okay, you did that. Okay, where is new lookup row equals to 2? That is the reason it's not updating, right? Where is
Yeah,
the
but I did them both the way you showed us.
Oh, okay.
Can you, Tonya? Can you
Yeah,
please
I
make
did
it
this way.
bigger?
I mean, I can see it clearly. Why are you not able to see it? You mean bigger means?
It does updates. I tried inserting my name, so
Okay.
it's like new row, and it changes the depth ID.
So,
But I don't know if that's enough.
there is one small
Equals
mistake.
equals 2 should be in the router, right, Abdul?
So,
yeah.
Here I did otherwise. New lookup row equals 1, then
Is
DD
insert.
insert. Yeah, otherwise do DD update.
Okay. So, okay, I think you got most of it right. Show me your target table. Truncate your target table, the actual
Yeah.
data table.
Yeah. Oh wait, I'm supposed to truncate it.
Okay, show me the
Okay.
source flat file. Okay, I think you guys are using flat file directly to table, right? You should be using flat file to staging to table, but that's okay. I'm not worried about that right now. Okay, can you hit a backspace and go back up a little bit?
Yeah.
Yes, it should be here. Okay, so employee IDs cannot be alphabets. Okay, we know how to do that. Then I also said, what are my error conditions? Employee ID cannot be alphabets.
That department, there's an error message here.
Okay, it cannot be null. It cannot be null.
It cannot be
Department
null.
ID. Okay.
Salary cannot be negative.
Salary cannot be negative. Correct.
We gotta match the phone, and we have to match the zip code.
That is very complex. The zip code has to be one. It should be alphabet. It should be number, alphabet, number, alphabet, number. How did you do that?
Just a regular reg match. I can show you.
Let me see. I made that complicated. Okay, so error conditions.
This way.
Yeah, very good. That's what I wanted. So zip code should be number, alphabet, and number. If it's some other format, it should not go to the.
Yeah, and the alphabet has to be in the upper letter, right?
Did I say that?
Lowercase or uppercase? Because there's only uppercase, so
Okay.
I don't know. Should I put the lowercase as well?
No.
Just in case?
That's okay. Yeah, no. For now, you should be okay in this scenario. Okay, your error flag looks good. Okay, so run your workflow.
Sure.
Okay, I guess you did most of it.
Yeah, if we get 2 records that are correct.
Show me the source file.
Yes.
So 1 Abdul 10, 1 Abdul 20, 1 Abdul 40. You have multiple rows for the same primary key.
Only
So,
Rahman and Abdul. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be.
Show me
40
the
is gonna be inserted.
Show me if you're inserting 40. Yeah. Okay. You're
Yeah.
inserting 40. Very good. Go back.
Yeah. Oh, I think
No, you already have it open.
Yeah.
Okay. So first 3 records, 1 Abdul 40 is loaded. Very good. 2 Rahman
Only
is
this
loaded.
one.
Very good. Sami is a bad record. Nazir is a bad record. Sejal is a bad record. Harris
That's
is a bad record.
Yeah.
Tom is a bad record. Okay. Why is
Yes.
Sami bad record? Because Sami has invalid emp ID. Very good. Nazir is a bad record. Nazir does not have a department ID. Sejal is a bad record because Sejal has a negative salary. Harris is a bad record because his phone number is not in the right format. Tom is a bad record because his zip code is all numbers. I don't want all numbers. I want number, alphabet, number, alphabet, number. Okay. Perfect. Your error is working fine. Your insert is working fine. Okay. Now, go back to your source file. Oh, close all of them.
Okay, I
have too many open.
Yes. Okay. Only one. Yeah.
Yeah, just keep one open. Okay.
Yeah.
Change 40 to 50, or change Abdul's department ID from 40 to 50.
Sure.
Yeah, that one. Okay, save and.
I think I already changed it. Yeah. It used to be 30.
Oh, okay. It was 30. That's why I was wondering why is it 10, 20, 40. Okay, run this. So what are we expecting? We are expecting that old.
50.
No, hold on. So we are expecting
that's gonna change.
Where is your end date here?
Yeah, I didn't do the end date. So.
Okay, you should have. Okay, where is your active flag here? You don't have end date.
I was asking them. Yeah.
No, you're supposed to have end date and active flag, right?
Yeah. I was confused about that because
I said you
columns
shouldn't. Okay, you don't have MD key. You don't have end date. You don't have MD5.
No.
Why? Okay, do select star on the table. How are you going to end it when you don't have end date? Okay, see, that's the reason, because you don't have the end date and active flag.
That's why I said I didn't do it all the way because.
I said you shouldn't have MD5 because Informatica is going to do the. You don't have to create insert and update flag. Yeah, Powercenter is doing the hard work for you. Okay, you don't have to create flags. Okay, which you didn't do, which is okay. You don't need to have MD5, but you're supposed
I have to have an end date.
Yeah, you're supposed to have end date. You didn't put in MD key. You didn't put in end date, and you didn't put active flag. Because in SCD type 2, we maintain history. Right now, you're not maintaining history there. Right?
Yeah.
You're supposed to maintain history. I want to see where the old department ID 40 was, how long it was valid for. Then you're supposed to end date that, then insert a new row.
Abdul, sorry, I'm not able to see the screen. I don't know why.
I can see her screen. Everybody can see her screen.
Maybe you pinned someone's like a page to there. Just make sure that you don't have anything pinned.
Okay.
Or you can just click to the Tonya's name and it can come.
Can you stop sharing and share again? Tony?
No,
Sure.
Abdul,
it's there, but it's not go through. I don't know why.
Tony,
Abdul,
can you share? Yeah.
I have a question. So if we use the dynamic lookup, is it the rule that we don't have to use the expression after that, or we shouldn't use it, but if we want, we can use it? You remember,
No.
right? We said that we don't need to use the expression because the Powercenter makes the insert updates for the new lookup row.
But how are we going to do the error message?
Yeah. I remember somebody asked this question. I said, you don't have to do expression because insert an update flag, you can directly map it to router, but
Yes.
new dynamic lookup cache will not do error message, right? If the number is negative or this is missing or this is not in this format, for that you need to do expression.
No, I'm not talking about the first expression, Abdul. I'm talking about the expression between the lookup and router.
Where is expression between lookup and router here?
There is nothing, but can I use it?
Yeah, because she's not going to create insert and update flag. Why would she need expression between lookup and router?
No, I understand. You don't take my question. My question is that if we use the dynamic lookup, is it the rule that we don't have to use it, or if we use it, that's fine? The result is important, right?
Your voice was breaking up. Can you say that again?
Okay, so if we use the dynamic lookup, okay, at work, I'm talking at work. Is this the rule that we don't have to we cannot put the expression between dynamic lookup and router, or we can put, but important is that the result. If the result is correct, it means it's good.
You can use an expression, but that expression you will not be using it for anything. It will mostly be like a pass-through. You're just not going to calculate anything there, right? You can use it. Nobody's going to stop you. But why do you want to use extra transformations when it can be done with one less transformation? Right?
No, I know. Probably. I will check mine at home. I think I have to.
You can use an expression here, but you're not going to create insert update flag. So why would you use it? You can just drag and drop everything to expression and everything from expression to router, right? See, look at the expression before the lookup. She's calculating something there. When you're calculating something in the expression, then use it. If you're not, you can still use it as a pass-through, but you don't have to.
I see.
Okay, you need to make some changes here, Tonya, because
yeah, I know, and this is probably not the good way, because if I'm gonna add the MD key, and if I'm gonna add the
no, you won't use MD key, MD5. Oh, sorry, MD key.
Yeah, yes. MD5. Yeah, MD key and MD5. I'm not gonna use MD5, but end date and active flag.
Yeah.
So I probably would want to split it because I'm gonna need the SQL for.
So you know what you did here? You did SCD type 1 with dynamic lookup cache.
Yeah.
You did SCD type 1,
I'm
but you're
not maintaining history.
Yeah, you're not maintaining history there. So check on YouTube.
And this is you saying I'm not supposed to maintain any history here. It's just gonna. No. I did truncate table right on the error table.
Yeah, you can truncate or you can just keep inserting every day. It doesn't matter.
Tonya, do you mind if you go to your lookup? Lookup, sure. Please.
What do you want to see? We're tracking changes on these three, and the condition is always.
Can you go back to ports?
Yeah.
Department ID, salary, phone number. Why not zip code?
Because you said we're tracking changes here, so.
Did I not say zip code?
No.
Can you open the question?
The department salary phone number.
Okay. Yeah, you're not. You can get rid of name also because you're not tracking changes on name also.
So I can just get rid of the ports I'm not tracking changes on?
Yeah. Only from the lookup, not only from there, not from the incoming.
Salary phone number, zip code, insert date as well.
Yeah.
And everything stays here.
All the ones coming from source.
Okay, so I'm just supposed to add the active. I'm gonna work on that and add the active flag and
end date, MD key, end date, and active flag.
Am I supposed to add MD key? For the, oh yeah, SCD type 2.
Yeah, you need to have MD key because MPID
The
cannot
code is going to change. Yeah.
no, MPID cannot be primary key. Right now you have MPID as primary key. What if a person is record changes? So Abdul is working in department ID 10, tomorrow is Abdul working at department ID 20. So you
Yeah,
cannot
MD key
insert
that
one
comes
Abdul
from
10,
SQL. Yeah.
one Abdul 10, one Abdul 20. You cannot see. That is the reason we don't keep natural key as primary key. You always keep surrogate key as natural primary key.
Okay, got it. Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. This one you mixed up SCD1 update strategy and SCD2 dynamic lookup. So that's okay because you're doing it for the first time. You mixed up the logics, but yeah. Okay, guys. I don't want to spend too much time on this. So I mean, it's okay. Whatever you did, we have any other questions? We had one more question, right? Regular SCD type 2 with. Okay, you guys can do that. I mean, it's not that.
I think
if you can do this
before classes, we did it.
You already did SCD. No, you guys didn't do SCD type 2 with error handling.
I think we did. I remember that. It is assignment number 12, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
I think
Did
so. We did it.
Which one was that?
SCD type 2 with
Mention
error
or
handling?
FF. It should be FF on the flat files, like inside the name.
Which one we did? No, that's not it.
I remember this question. I think we did it. I myself, I did it. I remember.
No.
Okay. So it's going to be easier than what
Not
you
that
guys did, dynamic lookup. Okay. Okay. Let me
Okay,
share
I'll
screen.
Okay.
Yeah, you're almost there, but you need to make some small changes. Okay. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can
Yes.
see.
So this is called Informatica Cloud. You don't so you just log into a link which they provide you, and you can create your mappings. Everything is online. You don't have to download and install anything. Okay, they created this in 2012. Okay, a lot of companies are moving onto this. So so the only problem is this is a 30-day trial. So I created my mappings here. So I'm loading data from flat file to Oracle table. So this is how Informatica Cloud looks like. Okay, everything is there on the link. You don't have to install the server, don't have to install Powercenter client. Everything is here. So I'm extracting data from flat file to table. So see, you don't import source and targets here. You just double click on source and tell if it's a flat file, if it's a Oracle table. See, over here you can see if it's an Oracle table, flat file, or this one, and this one is always fixed. If you double click on target, you can tell, you can just, you will never import here. If your target is a flat file, you will just say flat file. If your target is a Oracle table, you will just say Oracle table. Is that clear? I will take probably one class on this because a lot of requirements are asking for Informatica Cloud. But it's the same thing. See, in the rank, router, sequence, sorter, union, transaction control, aggregator. See, data masking. We don't have license for data masking in Informatica Powercenter. Over here, you can use it. Hierarchy builder, hierarchy parser, I never used it. See, lookup, normalizer, rank, router. So everything is here. Then what I also did was this is a cloud database. Okay. So there's a company called Snowflake, snowflake.com, snowflakecomputing.com. So they have cloud databases. See how many records are there in this table. 60. This one has 50,000 rows. This table has 50,000 rows. This table has 14 billion with a B. See, it has these many records. The table size is 771 GB. Can you see 14 billion records? If you look at this one, 144 billion records. Can you guys see that? The size of this table is 9 terabytes. This is like my computer, your computer, like 4 or 5 computers size is one table here. This is the size of the, this is the size, it is, yeah, this. So we are going to, I'm going to take one class on this. This is, we have 144 billion rows in that table. Okay, this is free. You can create an account here. It's valid for 90 days. You can create an account here. It's valid for 30 days. So I extracted data from catalog page. Yeah, I extracted data from, so this is cloud. Okay, you guys know what cloud means, right? You don't have to download and install anything on your computer. Like Oracle database, I had to download and install, right? The Oracle database, where is my Oracle database? Where is my Oracle database? Where did my Oracle database go?
Abdul, can you share the link for the Informatica cloud?
Just type in informatica.com, that's it. No, where is, yeah, here. See, I downloaded and installed Oracle databases. I downloaded and installed Informatica Powercenter clients, right? Everything is in the cloud these days. They'll just give you a link. You just log in and you create your tables, and they have some ready-made data. This is like HR employees departments, like some sample data, right? So look at this Snowflake sample data. So they have these tables in this. So this one has 50,000 rows. So I extracted data from a cloud database and loaded into my, I extracted data from cloud database and loaded data into my on-premises. This is called on-prem. This is called on-prem because it's installed on my local machine on my computer, and this is cloud because there is nothing installed here. So let me catalog. Okay. So I extracted data from there and loaded here. These days, it's very important that you have. I extracted all 50,000 rows, and I loaded here into my this thing. So you know how they charge you? They charge you with the number of records your workflow processes. So for each record, they'll charge you so many cents. That's how they're. I mean, this one is free. After 30 days, your account gets locked automatically. You don't have to enter any credit information on anything. So I created a mapping here. Let me show you. So first, you have to first create connections. So I created connections to my Oracle database. I never showed this to any of the previous batches, but unless you know this, it's difficult to get a job these days. I mean, we place so many people without showing this. See, I created a connection for a flat file. I created a connection for Oracle. I created a connection for Snowflake. This is cloud database. This is on-prem database. So I extracted data from this and loaded into this. Okay. And then I'll go back to my, so this is monitor. So data integration is where you integrate data. Okay, this is like Powercenter. If you have any questions, please ask me. Okay, so I'll show this in detail, but this is what I was doing over the weekend.
No question.
So, so the companies which are using this, they're keeping their database in the cloud all the time?
Not necessary. I just told you, right? I can extract data from on-prem or cloud and load it to on-prem or cloud. You can extract data from anything and load it to anything. So I extracted data from cloud and loaded into my Oracle database. I can extract data from here and load it to cloud with this. So over here, the good thing is you can run mapping. So mapping will extract data and load it to table. In Powercenter, you cannot run mappings, right? You have to create a session and workflow. or you can, after you create a mapping, you have to at least create a session or workflow, or you have to at least create a workflow. Over here, you can just click mapping and run it. See, you can run mappings. Okay, over here, you don't have anything called as sessions. Over here, it's called task. Okay, see, even though I've been working on Informatica Powercenter for 12 years, even I have to learn these new things. I created this account on June 27th, day before yesterday. Okay, so just because you're working, don't think why is Abdul showing all this so much new stuff. He keeps saying you have to learn this, you have to learn this. Even I am learning. Okay, if you don't learn, you know what will happen. Just like Nokia, they thought that they were the best cell phone company in the world, and they did not bring in new products. They got bankrupt. BlackBerry, they got bankrupt because they did not. They said, okay, nobody is going to use touchscreen phone. This is the best thing we have. Just because you learn Powercenter, don't think this is the best tool in the market. Yes, currently it is the best tool. In future, you'll get outdated. So see, this one I extracted data from Snowflake. I extracted data from Snowflake and loaded to Oracle. Okay, so let me truncate this table. I'll show this in detail, but this is what I was working over the weekend. So let me truncate this table. Have you guys heard of AWS?
Yes.
Okay, so you need to know AWS. That's Amazon's database. Okay, so so a lot of companies are moving to AWS, and Snowflake and AWS are big competitors. Snowflake, AWS, and Azure. Microsoft has their cloud database called Azure. Amazon has their cloud database on AWS, and Snowflake. These are very big, three big companies right now. Previously, Amazon was the best company. Suddenly, this company came in and took a lot of clients from Amazon. Now, Microsoft is coming in and taking clients from these two. So these three have big competition. See, my table is empty, so I'm going to run my mapping. I'm going to simply run my mapping. Okay, so actually never showed this to anybody in the previous batches. So I can check my session logs here. See, my workflows failed so many times before I actually fixed it. You see the time I was working at 12:51 a.m., 12:49 a.m. So even I'm learning this stuff. So updates available. So everything is on, you don't have to download any of this stuff. They're making a lot of companies move from this one to this one. I'll show you some really cool stuff here. This is like really good stuff here. But for you to work on this, you should know this one. If you know this one, right, it's very easy to work on this one. But if you know this one, you cannot work on this one. This is very different. So this is like your Toyota Corolla. Okay, if anybody drives that, I'm not saying it's bad. It's just that this is like Toyota Corolla, where you have to do everything yourself. This is like Tesla. Okay, I'll show you why I say that. This is like Tesla. Okay, it has like bunch of cool features in it. See, my workflows were failing. So many workflows failed, and then completed. See, I have the free version. That's why it's taking long, but usually it doesn't take this long. So currently I'm extracting data from the cloud and I'm loading it into this one. So this one is still empty. So guys, please create accounts and start working on this, okay? I have about 8 recorded sessions for this from somebody in my previous batch who paid money outside and took some classes. I have 8 recordings for that. So I already, let me show you.
Abdul, do you have a mapping here that is using a flat file?
Yeah. So I have 8 recordings here. Somebody paid like $250 for this. There are like 4 more, but please go through this. I'll not be able to teach everything. Okay. So if you know Informatica Powercenter, this will be very easy. Why is it taking so long? I think it should be, yeah, see, it loaded 50,000 rows. So I truncated this table, right? So if I do select star on this table, I'll have 50,000 rows here. So I extracted data from Snowflake database and loaded here. Okay. With Powercenter, you cannot connect to Snowflake because you have to buy the connector. It's called Power Exchange connector. Okay. So right now, these are all the connectors which Informatica provided you for free. You don't have anything for Snowflake, Amazon Snowflake. You don't have any of that. Okay. But over here, they provide you 30-day free trial. Okay. So somebody was asking a question. If I extracted data from flat file and loaded to a table, so how do I close this? See, over here, all your mapping sessions and workflows are called assets. So you click on assets, you will have your mappings and sessions here. So look at this one, flat file to Oracle. So I'm reading data from flat file and loading to a table. So my flat file is on my desktop, this one. This one? Yeah, this one. So I think, yeah, I created this yesterday night. Yeah, Monday night, yeah. So I have data here and I'm loading data into this table. I'm loading data into this table. So let me truncate this table. I just want to do this. It's like a change of pace and some new topics. You might get bored of doing Powercenter. We are almost done with Powercenter. So this table is empty right now. Okay. So now I'm going to extract data from this one. Now let me put some more data. 2, 0, 3, star. 3, here.
Abdul, before you move forward, can you just quickly tell me how you told the cloud that I have my file on the desktop?
Watch the videos. Watch the video. So you click on source. Okay, I'll show you that. Hold on 1 second. So let me run this. Okay, so it loaded 3 rows. It extracted 3 rows from my flat file. So this table was empty, right? So I loaded 3 rows into this table. Okay, your question was, so you have to go to administrator. Over here, you can create connections. Over here, do you see connections? So I created a connection for flat file. So you click on new, or let's look at this existing one. So I said the file connection created on June 27, 11:37 p.m. created by this directory C users Abdul desktop. Okay. My file has to be present on desktop for me to run. Otherwise it will not work. Okay. There is something. Okay. When you download, this is important. It took me like 2 hours to figure this out. You guys are lucky. I'm telling you even before you run into that issue. When you download and install Informatica Cloud, I mean, you don't have to download and install. When you create an account, it literally takes less than 30 seconds to create an account on Informatica Cloud. Okay, you guys can go to informaticacloud.com and create an account. when you go to informaticacloud.com and create an account, there is something called as, let me show you. There is something called as runtime environments. Okay, this one will come default. This one, do you see Informatica Cloud hosted agent? This will come by default. Okay, so why do we need a runtime environment? Why do we need a runtime environment? It ensures that it ensures that your source and target. If you're reading data from a cloud database, or if you're loading data to a cloud database, it is a secure environment. But if you have a guys, this is important. If you're extracting data from a cloud database and loading to a cloud database, you don't need this. Informatica Cloud Agent will ensure that your cloud database, ETL to target database, which are all three in the cloud, are secure. But if your target database is on your computer, is on-prem, it's not in the cloud, then you need to download a secure agent. You need to download a secure agent like this. You need to download a secure agent. So you have to download, this is the only thing you have to download. Okay, you have to download this. And why? Because if you're extracting data from a cloud database and loading it onto your computer, or if you're extracting data from your computer from on-prem database and loading it into cloud database, this will ensure that your computer is safe. Your computer, there is a secure connection between your cloud database and desktop. Is that clear? Informatica Cloud means if you're extracting, if your source and target both are cloud, you don't even need this. But if your source or target, one of them is on-prem, or both of them are on-prem, then you need to download a secure agent and then use this one when you're running your mapping. Is that clear to everyone? So you have to go to Informatica Administrator, go to Runtime Environments. This one will come by default. This is good as long as you're reading data from Snowflake database and writing to Snowflake database, or if you're extracting data from Azure or AWS and if you're extracting data from AWS and loading to Snowflake. If your source and target databases are in the cloud, this will be enough. But the moment anything is on-prem, you need this one. Okay, so is that clear to everyone?
Abdul, you need to generate the token and then download it, or just to download the secure agent?
No, you have to generate the token and download it. So watch videos on that. Watch videos, and that's just a one-time thing. Okay.
Okay. Did you share the folder, the Info Cloud?
Which folder?
The videos you're talking about.
Yeah, I'll upload it. I already did. See, for Snowflake, the runtime environment is only the cloud one. But the moment Oracle or something on my computer is there, it has to be the desktop environment. Okay. So one bad thing about Informatica Cloud is for every folder, I need to create a connection. For desktop, I need to have one connection. For C Informatica 9.6.1 server, or for C users, I need to have one connection. For C users Abdul, I need to have one connection. For C users Abdul desktop, I need to have one connection. Okay, that is one bad thing. The other bad thing is for every schema, you need to have one connection. This can only load to HR schema. This can only load to HR schema. I cannot load it to any other schema. Okay, this cannot load it to any other schema. So that is one thing which I did not like. The things which I said. If you go to data integration, this is where you can create your mappings task. There is no sessions, there is mappings, task, and workflow. See, if you're trying to create a new mapping, see, look at all the options it gives you. Data integration. Okay, copy data from one source to one target. Join two sources with an inner join. Okay, so if you click on this, it creates a sample mapping. This can be your employee, this can be your department. See, they already put sorters before joiner and loaded to target. This is literally will make you dumb. This tool will make you, it's like but you need to know when to use joiners. So this is, one is a table, one is a flat file. See, you don't have to drag and drop expression, sorter, joiner, and target. You'll just click on this and say this is a table or a flat file. Okay, so you can just say connection type is Oracle, and this one you can say single object, and then you can say just pick up let's pick up employees. Okay, this is your employees table. You need to have a good internet connection for this. For SCD type 2 also, it has like a template fixed. You just see, this is my employees table, and I want to join on departments table. So I'll double click on this source. I will say connection is, you don't even have to, this is Powercenter. When you say Powercenter is a click, double click, right click, drag and drop, this is even worse. You don't even have to drag and drop anything. So I will say my Oracle connection, and my target is, sorry, my source type is single object. I want to join on, see, it will tell you all, it will read, Informatica Cloud will read all the tables in your employees HR schema. So I want to join HR on departments. So I want to join employees and departments on which column I'll join? I'll join on department ID, because select star from HR.employees has department ID, and select star from HR.departments. This one has department ID and department. So I'm going to join on department ID and department ID and return department name, and I'll join on department ID, I'll return department name, manager ID. So that's what I can do. So over here, I'll sort on. Okay, over here, incoming fields. So I will sort on. First of all, I don't need this expression. Sorter, joiner, and target table. Okay. So, okay, let me not. Okay, let me not save this. Discard. So, okay, let me show you this one. Your SCD type 1 and type 2. See, if you click on warehousing, slowly changing dimension 2. Okay, it's doing joiner, outer join. Okay, sequence generator, insert update. See, everything is clear. You just have to click on this and say which is your source. This is your target table. You're joining on one column, and see, it will tell you what is your natural key, surrogate key. Dim natural key means target. The surrogate key and all those things. You go to expression. See, if is null and MD5 not equals to MD5. It already built everything for you. Okay, this will make you very like lazy. So this is like a flashy thing. They're making things very easy. But suppose if you had work on this first, and then if you have to work on this, you will not be able to work. It's like driving a Tesla and then driving a 1990 Toyota. To drive a 1990 Toyota, you can drive that Tesla easy.
If we do have a little complicated thing, is it still like handling well? Like for example, today's our like assignment, it was like super complicated things. Like, how it's gonna show me this schema of that?
That you cannot do. Over here, you cannot do that because it's not doing dynamic lookup cache here. Okay, it's just doing regular SCD type 2 with the joiner. It's not even using lookup. Did you see that? It's not even using lookup. It's using joiner and it's using an outer join. Remember we did this outer join? To
Yes.
yeah, so it's doing that one here. So, but I don't think they created something for dynamic lookup cache. So for dynamic, if you want to use dynamic lookup cache, you'll have to build it from scratch. You have to build it from scratch. Okay. So they have all this SCD type 1, type 2, type 3, data cleansing. Okay. So if your source has null values, if your source has, okay, this is all to load data into Salesforce integration. Okay. Join two sources with an inner join. Join, replicate MySQL table. Okay. See, this is incremental load. Actually, let me go back and I'll show you incremental load. They already built a template for incremental load. See, so many replicate data incrementally. There is Oracle increment. Yeah, replicate an Oracle table or view incremental load to a new. See, you're going to load data from a table to another table, and it's going to do incremental load. Do you remember the set max variable? Right? Extracts data incrementally from an Oracle database table and loads it to a dynamically created target. Only the change records. Only the change records. See, set max variable. Remember the variable we created, set max variable. So even I haven't used all these options. So previously, one time, like in December, I asked one of my friends to take a session for this batch, but I never. So at my work, I don't use all of this. Okay, so unfortunately, I never worked on this. But so over here, look at this. See, if you have a Powercenter workflow, so Informatica is saying do not buy Informatica Powercenter, instead use Informatica Cloud. What is the advantage? The first question the company will say, what is the advantage for me, right? Why should I do that, right? The first question any company will say, how will it save me money? That is the first thing at every company, right? If you're using some, if you're buying a laptop, and some other, if you're buying a Dell laptop and HP comes to you and says, please buy this, the first thing you're going to say is, why should I buy this? But Dell is good enough for me, right? Why should I buy this? Or if you're buying a Dell computer and they come back and say, can you buy this instead? Okay, it has all these shiny features. You'll be like, okay, that's okay. But how is it going to be? Is it cheaper for me? Because the one I'm buying right now, I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied with my Powercenter, right? I'm satisfied with Powercenter. Why should I buy this one? So that's human nature, right? So the first thing, why are companies moving to this? I'll tell you why.
Maybe you will remember your workflows. You will not lose them.
How would you lose them over here? Over here also, you'll never lose them, right?
Corona time, you can work from home.
So
Abdul, I lost all of mine.
yeah, I'll tell you what. Okay, so if you had Informatica Cloud, there is nothing to save. You would have, unless you forget your password, there is no way you will lose. I'll fix that as well. Okay, I'll cover, remind me that I'll cover that. So why are companies moving to this cloud databases, cloud ETL and cloud databases? So banks will never move. Banks will never move to cloud and never move to Informatica Cloud. They'll be like, we will use this till you support it. The day you say we will not support it, the last day they will move. They will not move before that. Okay. Okay, so this is Informatica Powercenter versus IICS, Informatica Intelligent Cloud Service. Okay, this is Informatica Powercenter on-prem. When I say Informatica Powercenter, it means on-prem, on-premises. So first, you have to renew your license. You have to renew your license every year for Informatica Cloud. Renew license every year. Okay. Renew Powercenter license. Okay. The other thing is you have to buy a server. You have to buy a server to install this software. You have to buy a server. You have to pay electricity bill for this server because server run 24/7. They need a lot of electricity. Okay. Then the most expensive thing when you buy a server is cooling. But since servers are huge computers, they run 24/7 with so many people trying to connect to the server. The highest, nobody knows this. This is a lot of people get shocked when you tell them that when you buy a server, this is the biggest cost when you buy a server because you have to run a air condition next to it 24/7. It has to be in a cool place. Like anytime you see a server, right, a server room, I don't know if you have guys ever been to a server room. It's like really cold. You cannot go into the server room without wearing a jacket or at least a sweater. You have to wear gloves and everything because those servers get, so just your phone, right? Your small phone, if you try to open a few tabs, it heats up, right? Imagine a server where millions of people are trying to purchase or trying to connect to the Amazon server and trying to place orders. Imagine how much heat it generates, right? So you have to cool it. You have to run an AC 24/7 electricity bill. You have to rent a room. You have to rent space for a server. Okay. You need to hire server admin. When you buy a server, you need to hire a server admin. A Unix. So if you are planning to install Unix operating system, you need to hire a Unix admin. Then you have to hire Informatica admin. Right? Because Informatica admin will take care of this admin console. So these are all the costs. Unix admin, you will easily pay $120,000 per year minimum. Informatica admin, you will pay $120,000 a year. So you have to buy the server. This can be expensive. You have to pay electricity bill. You have to pay for cooling, rent space, and Informatica admin and Unix admin. Like for example, my computer has Windows operating system, and then on top of that Windows operating system, I installed Informatica server. Just like that, on top of the server, you will have Unix operating system, which the Unix admin will install. Then Informatica admin will install. Once the Unix admin makes the server ready, Informatica admin will have to install Informatica software on this. Okay, so these are all the associated costs. Whereas for IICS, okay, you have to renew your license every year. Renew every year, yearly. Okay, you don't have to buy server. You don't have to buy a server. You don't have to pay electricity bill. Okay, no cooling, no AC, no cooling. Okay, you don't have to rent a space. Okay, you don't have to hire a Unix admin. No Unix admin. No infra admin. Your company will only have Informatica developers. So you will be your own Informatica admin here. You see? Sorry, not here. You will have your own admin console. You can just go here, there and create connections and whatever you want to do. Okay, these options will be grayed out for you. You will only have this option. So connections and all these, you can schedule a workflow and all those. So let me go back there. So these are all the advantages. So no Unix admin, no infra admin. So over here, you have to do upgrades. You have to do upgrades on Unix and Informatica Powercenter, right? If Informatica comes out right now, the latest right now in my company, we use 10.2, but 10.4 is already out. If I want to use 10.4, then my Informatica admin has to upgrade. Over here, you don't have any upgrades because they will make sure that whatever you're using is the latest one. Okay, they'll make sure that whatever you're connected to, it's the latest one. So these are all the advantages. Okay. Now, when you buy your own Informatica, when you buy your server and you buy your own Informatica software, you can run as many workflows as you want. You can run as many workflows as you want. You can process as many records as you want. Nobody will question you. Over here, you will get charged by the number of records you process, number of records your workflow will process. For example, right now, I'm running a workflow. I can run like 100 times also. Nobody in my company will question me. Over here, I have to be careful. I mean, actually, big companies will not question you. Like multi-billion-dollar companies, they won't question you. Like, why are you running this workflow 10 times, right? But you will get charged. You will be charged per row. This is like buying your own car. Like buying your own car. This is like renting a car. You will be charged per mile. Over here, once you buy your own, so you can drive how much ever you want, right? This is like a lease. This is like a finance. Same thing over here. Every time I run a select statement, the company will get charged. On-prem, I can run this select star from departments all day, all night. I can keep running. Nobody will charge me. But over here, every time I run a select statement, I get charged. So the architect of the company, they will look, he or she will look at the long-term cost analysis and see which one will save money. Then they'll go with that. A lot of companies are moving into this. So when a company moves to Informatica Power Cloud, a lot of companies are moving to this. When a company moves from Informatica Cloud, from Powercenter to Informatica Cloud, they will say, what happens to all the workflows which we built over last 10 years or 20 years, right? We need to move that to, we need to migrate that to Informatica Cloud. So Informatica, previously they did not have this option. So if you go here, if you go here and if you go to data integration, if you click on new, do you see Powercenter task? You can import a Powercenter. Let me show you again. Sorry, I'm not. You see, import a Powercenter workflow, so you can run it as a cloud integration task. So how will you, so suppose you have so many workflows here. So for example, this workflow. Let me just check in. Versioning, find checkouts, all folders, all users. Let me just check in everything. You should never have anything checked out. So, Tamil, this is what we should have done on your computer as well. This is what everybody should do. Okay, and then I'll go here, versioning, find checkouts, check in everything, because you never know, tomorrow your Powercenter might stop working. check in everything. So this is what I normally do. I mean, I used to do before, and I don't have anything saved. So I don't care if something goes down, I can install again in like 30 minutes. I can start working on it. Okay, but if you guys don't want to lose your code, you should check in everything and go to your repository manager. And do you see these workflows? I don't think you can do all. Oh, yeah. And then you can export this on your desktop. Say backup workflow. And save this on your desktop. All your workflows will get saved on your desktop. Next time your Powercenter stops working and you have to install Powercenter again, you can install Powercenter again and then just import and just install Powercenter again, create your repository. And sorry, I don't know why I closed it. You can install your Powercenter again, go to repository and say import objects and go to your desktop and import the backup which you took. Is that clear, Ramu?
Yes, Abdul.
But right now it's too late for you because you have to install everything and now you have to create all the mappings again.
I know.
Okay, so this is one thing we could have done, but I was going to show this little later. I don't know, something happened. He deleted some file and everything got messed up. His SQL, Oracle, everything got messed up. So he had to download and install everything from scratch, database. And I told him to start working from SCD type 2 and go backwards. Okay, so every day you can take a backup and overwrite whatever you have. This is the task of this is the job of Informatica admin. They have a scheduled job which will take a backup of all the workflows and save it in a secure location. Okay, they're not going to do repository and export. They have a job which will run at when everybody leaves at 7 p.m. There will be a job which will run and export all the workflows and keep it in a secure location. Same thing for database. I think somebody asked me this question. Every day there is a fixed window. There is an offline window for database. They will tell everybody in the company, you cannot run your workflows between 4 a.m. and 5 a.m. Okay, because they will take backups at that time. So they will take a backup of the entire database. They'll take a backup of the entire database. You know how to take a backup of a table, right? So create table as select star, create table name underscore BKP, and then the date as select star. Like that, they'll take entire backup of this schema, and the entire database. They'll take it for 7 days. So if you want, if you say, okay, I accidentally dropped this table, can you restore the data? So they will create a new schema here, which was a backup taken from as of yesterday. So you will copy the create table and select statement from there and execute it here, and then they will drop the backup schema. Okay, so now I don't know. Yeah, so this is all the backstory. Now, suppose somebody, so the company Informatica says you need to move to Informatica Cloud. Okay, they will give you all the cost analysis, and suddenly you find that this one will cost you $100 per month, and this is going to cost you $90 per month. Okay, they'll say, okay, very good. I want to move to IICS, but I have like so many workflows here. I have so many workflows here which I want to migrate. So previously they did not have this option. This is a very new recent feature. You see Powercenter task, import a Powercenter workflow so you can run it as cloud data. You can run it in cloud. So how do you do that? I mean, I've never done this in my life. So let's try that out. So let me export one workflow. Let me not export everything. Let me export one workflow. Let me export this one. This is a small one. Export desktop. This is a small one. So they will say, okay, export all your export all your workflows and go here, click here. Oh, you can create shortcut folders and all those things. Okay. Upload the XML. So where is my XML? So choose file. You guys know what is an XML? Okay, that XML is giving me a problem. I run XML. Failed with the following parsing error. Attribute exe order must be declared for element and value pair at line. Okay. So let me look at that XML. XML is nothing but another flat file where data is stored between tags instead of. So how you have data stored between commas, right? In XML, we are going to learn this, how to extract data from table and load it to flat file, how to so over here you have tags. This is an opening tag. This is a closing tag. You have data between tags here. So there is problem at line 120. What did it say? Line 146, there is a problem. Oh, I think in my workflow I had this PM CMD start workflow. Okay, let me pick up something else. Let me pick up something very simple. Let me see. Incremental load. Okay, let me export incremental load. Okay, these are all admin tasks. Usually developers will not do this.
Abdul, you
Yes.
said
Okay.
sorry. Question here. You said there's no admin or Unix admin. Who is doing all this then?
So Informatica will assign a person from their company. So this one got accepted. So what do I do next? Save. Select an Informatica. Okay, so I need to select a runtime. So does it save? Select an Informatica runtime. If no runtime, you must define. Select a valid connection. Where do I do that? Video connection. Oh, okay. This one, Oracle. And save. Select an Informatica. Where do I do this? Select an Informatica cloud term runtime. Next task. If I know. Okay, so let me go back to my assets. Let me close this. Okay, for some reason I'm not seeing the workflow which I imported. Maybe it did not get saved properly. So it's asking. Oh, this one, runtime environment. Okay. Now it will get saved. Unless it gives some other errors. So that's how you can extract a workflow from. Okay, so now it got saved. Let me go back home and see. Now it increased from 4 to 5. You saw how easy it was to extract. So where is my, see, this is the workflow which I just extracted the incremental workflow. Okay, so this is the Powercenter workflow. So I can run this workflow like how I was running here, the incremental part. So I exported all of those like 15, 20 workflows I had, right? I can just import that, all of them here in sure. So my company used to use Talent 3.5 years ago, and then they moved to Powercenter. Nobody in my company knew how Powercenter worked. Okay, this was before I joined 4 or 5 years ago. So they got somebody from Informatica. That person charged $600 per hour. So he spent 140 hours at the university. He charged like $24,000 to $25,000 for a Informatica company charged $25,000 for a week of training. You know what he showed? How to extract data from flat file to table, how to extract data from table to table, how to extract data from table to flat file. In 1 week, the company charged $24,000. So you guys spent close to 2 months with me. So whatever you guys are paying, it's very less what companies are out there charging. They literally, so one day, the first day they explained what is Informatica, how does it work, and all those things. Only 4 days, they showed basic tasks like what is a parameter, what is a flat file, how to extract data from a table to flat file, just basic things. That Informatica charged $600 per hour. For 40 hours, they charged $24,000. And we had more Informatica developers. So my director was saying we have to get that person again to teach them. So companies are spending so much money. Anyway, so this is how you can export from Powercenter and import it here. Okay. Yeah, for now. So let me show you one more thing, and then we'll go back to our regular class.
Right. So Abdul, question. I mean, by exporting and importing the workflow, that's pretty much the workflow definition. How about the underlying objects like your flat files?
So when you export something from Informatica repository manager, did you see why I did not export from here? See, you can export and import from here. You can export and import from here. Good question. So if you export from workflow manager, you will only export session and workflow. If you export from designer, for example, if you want to export this one, if you want to export this mapping, why is that export option gone? Oh, because I'm not connected to this folder. Okay. So if I want to export this, right? When I export from designer, I will only export source, target, and mapping. If I export from workflow manager, I will only export session and workflow. If I export from repository manager, everything gets imported. Did you see? In Informatica, when you export from,
right, in cloud, you had to specify the runtime environment, which was your.
What is runtime environment? Runtime environment is
no, that's the only.
That is Informatica term. That is like, how do you want to run this workflow? Do you want to run it from on-prem or cloud? Don't confuse that one with this thing. That is completely different.
Yeah, that is the only time when I saw you mentioning your desktop.
Yeah, you can. At that time, you can say anything. Okay, but so when you open your incremental load workflow, see over here you will have all the transformations used. Okay, I used a sorter. I used an expression. This is my target table. I used another expression. So constraint-based load ordering, no. Stop on error somewhere. See, stop on error is 0. I don't know why I kept stop on error as 0. Am I truncating the target? See, this workflow is created from the workflow generation wizard. That means I did not create the session manually. I used the wizard, right? Did I partition this? Did I say truncate table option? When I'm using incremental load, truncate table option is not selected. Okay, see all those properties you will see here. Okay, all those properties you will see here. all the transformations are used. See, folder name is, repository name is this, folder name is this, target name. These are all my target properties. This is my mapping name. This is my source name. These are the columns: emp ID, name, depth ID, hire date, action date, source filter, right? This is what I have in my source filter. Action date greater than. Do you see the word greater than? So if you, where is my incremental one? Where is my, it's already happened. So if you see, there is a SQL override, right? I said action date greater than $ ink date. That is what it says in my action date greater than apostrophe $ ink date. See, single quote apostrophe. Okay, so for some reason I did not select truncate table option. I did not select stop on error as 1. Oh, stop on error is 1 here. Incremental load. Why is my XML saying? Is it saying 0? That is very weird.
Maybe you have a param file for that. It sets 0.
No, I'm not using a param file. I hardcoded the value 1 here.
Yeah, you should capture the 1.
Yeah, that should say 1. I don't know why it's saying. See, I'm using bulk load, right? So if you go here, go to mappings, go to targets, it will say bulk load. See, insert value, yes. Insert value is yes. Update as update is yes. Update as update is yes. Everything after that is no and no. Update as insert is no. Update else is insert is no. These boxes are not checked. Then after that, delete is selected. Delete value is yes. So by looking at the XML, you can build this mapping workflow and session, right? So this is an XML. We will cover this XML in detail. So this will tell you when you created this mapping. Oh no, this is the time when you exported the workflow. Okay. Except that stop on error, I don't know why stop on error is showing.
Abdul, when you migrate the workflow from, let's say, dev to QA, right? So you do all the documentation in your environment.
Yeah, I'll cover that later in detail. Okay. So anyways, let's move on here. Okay. I want to do at least one. So I did not cover anything today. I'm giving you more time to work on the dynamic lookup cache. I'm trying to slow down as much as possible. Okay. But I still need to cover one topic here. So okay. My requirement here is, actually, let me not cover rank. I already built a mapping for rank and everything, but let me not cover that. Okay, let me not cover that. Let me actually cover dynamic lookup cache. Oh, no, sorry. Let me cover persistent lookup. Okay, let me cover persistent lookup. That's it. So let me cover persistent lookup. Okay, let me create table emp underscore persistent underscore LKB emp ID number emp name varchar 215 depth ID as number, create table dpt underscore persistent underscore lookup depth ID number depth name varchar 215 This is my employee is my source. This is my lookup or reference table. Okay, and I will insert some data into this table. Insert into values. I'm going to keep it simple. The 1, 2, 10, and insert into this table. I will load values 1, IT. Okay, then I will create my target table. Create table. So I want to join employees data with department table, department data on this column, and return one Abdul 10 and IT in one single table. So I will call my target table MPPT persistent underscore LKP. Over here, I will have all of this data, all of these columns, and then I will also have so let me create the target, 2 sources. Why is there something wrong here? Create table, body name, depth ID, depth. Oh, I forgot. Okay, so let me import. I'm not going to use shortcuts. I'm going to use just regular target import from database. This comes as part of performance tuning, okay? Oh, why did I import this as target? Okay, I was supposed to import this as source. So this is my source, and my target is this one. Okay, now I'm going to create a mapping. Underscore emp dpt persistent underscore lookup. My source is nope. This is my source. This is my source. My target is emp dpt percent. This is my target. And I'm going to do a lookup. I'm going to do a lookup on. I will do a lookup on this table. Okay, I will join on depth ID and depth ID. This is IN. So lookups are used for 2 reasons. One, to check if a record is existing in the target. And the other reason is join on a common column and return department name. Right? Lookups are used for 2 reasons. One, to check if the record is present in the target. The second scenario is I'm going to join on if you have a column in your target which is not present on source, you will have to do a lookup on some other table and return that associated column. Okay. Nothing new. We have done this so many times.
And remove duplicates.
Dynamic lookup cache. Yeah, you can say 3 reasons. You can remove duplicates with dynamic lookup. I'm just talking about simple lookups. Yeah, you can say that also. But you have to specifically say dynamic lookup cache. Disconnect. So workflows. Oh, okay. It's not supposed to do that. Make sure this is insert. Make sure that stop on error is 1. Source is a table. Target. I'm going to truncate the target table. Lookup. Actually, my workflow would have failed because I did not give it a connection. See, it will say table. See, it will not even give you the logs. If you check the workflow logs, it will say missing.
This is lookup.
It will say a session is invalid. Okay, my session was actually invalid. So see, my session is at my workflow is my session is actually invalid. Why? How do you know what's the problem? Go to workflows, validate. It will give you LKP department is missing a connection. So you will have to double click on this. Go to mappings. You have to give it a connection here. And now this will work. So one record in my source, one record in my lookup, one record will be loaded into my target table. Okay, so let me do select star. We're making life easy for business users by loading data from two different. This is my lookup table. This is my okay. I loaded data from employees and department table into one single place. Okay, that's not what we are going to learn here. We already know lookups. You guys know it much better. So every time I run this workflow, lookup cache is created and then deleted. Right. So every time I run the workflow, lookup cache is created and deleted. See, creating new lookup cache. In which directory? See Informatica 9.6.1 server info-shared cache. And this is the cache file name, pml lookup 610. That is the file name. But if you go to that location, see Informatica 9.6.1 server info-shared and cache. This is empty, right? So, but it says it created, and then once the workflow completes, it will say deleting lookup cache. So what happens every time you run the workflow, lookup cache will be created and used in the mapping and then deleted, right? It will create an index cache and the data cache. It will create one index file and the cache file. So it will create two files and delete those two files. Okay. If a lookup is running longer, that is because the lookup cache is slowing it down. But for example, suppose I'm doing a lookup on a table on which data never changes, right? For example, this company has only one department. It will never have any other departments. Should you create a lookup cache every time when the data in this never changes? No need, right? Because when the data in this, there will be only one department ID 10 forever. Why should you create a lookup cache every time you run this workflow? You shouldn't, right? Because that is causing the workflow to run slower. So what you can do is go to properties, and you see lookup cache persistent. Select this, and do you see this? Select this. Select lookup cache persistent and recache from lookup source. What does this mean? Rebuild lookup cache from the lookup source when the lookup first instance is called. I'll explain that. So you will make it persistent. What does the word persistent mean in English? That means you're going to continuously do the same thing, right? You will not create a new lookup cache. Okay, so now what will happen? When I run my workflow, lookup cache will be created again, but it will not be deleted. When I run the workflow second time, it will not even create lookup cache. It will say reusing the lookup cache. Okay, so let me run this workflow. So you will only use this when you're doing a lookup on a table, which will never change. I'm going to ask an interview question after that. So I reran the workflow. So the first time lookup cache will be created and it will not delete. This time it will see default SQL to create lookup cache. Where is that thing? Creating lookup cache. One second, let me check. See, creating new lookup cache here. It will create a .dat and .idx. .dat is a data file. .idx is a index file. And the file name is pmlukp61_40w6 .dat and .idx at C Informatica 9.6.1 server infosheet and cache. See, it did not delete them. It creates the .dat and .idx. Okay, if you open this, there will be, I mean, you cannot even read it. It's in some weird syntax. Okay, now when I rerun the workflow, it will just reuse this. Okay, so it will just reuse this. So when you rerun the workflow, it will not create a brand new lookup cache. It will say lookup cache is persistent, so we will just reuse the lookup cache. Is that clear to everyone?
Is it only for the same data, right? That
you only use this once again when you're doing a lookup on which table. You're doing a lookup on department persistent lookup. The only way you will do this is when the data on this one never change. If you make this as persistent and insert some new data in this table, like right now you have 10 IT, what if you insert 20 sales and there is department ID 20 in the source? It will not return 20 sales in the target table because you're not creating a brand new lookup cache. Is that clear to everyone?
So in case data changes, you will have to disable that persistent.
You'll have to make it go back and make it static or dynamic, one of those changes. Okay, you cannot use persistent cache. Persistent means it will just create it one time and save it permanent. If you're inserting new department IDs here, it will only say, okay, you might insert new, but you made me as permanent, saved it permanent. I cannot, even though you inserted new records 1 up to 2 camera and 20, and you inserted 20 HR here, I will read 2 camera and 20, but even though I have 20 present here, it will not load it. Okay, because the lookup cache created was when it was 10 IT. Lookup cache will not be created when it's 20 sales, so it will not find a match here.
So even if prior to running your workflow, you change that to you take off that persistent check and run it, in that case it will.
Why would you keep playing with that, right? You will not keep playing. If you know the data in this keeps changing, you will not even make it persistent.
Mm-hmm.
If you know,
if it's like once a year change or something,
if it changes, you will not use persistent once a year, once a month, once a week, once an hour. You will not make it persistent if it changes. Okay. The owner of this table, they will know if the data changes. The architect will know. Is that clear? Is that clear to everyone?
Yes.
Okay. So tell me one scenario. Tell me one actual real-time scenario when the data never changes. Give me a reasonable answer. Departments will keep changing. Departments will shut down. New departments will be inserted. Give me one scenario. Give me one scenario when the lookup table will never change. Come on, think of something. We covered this over the weekend.
Let's see. Gender something.
Please give me some reasonable answer. Just don't give me whatever comes into your mind. Okay. Assume this is an interview question. They're asking in the interview. Give me an example of a table in which data never changes. Don't tell me employee. Don't tell me department. Employees keep coming and leaving. Departments will keep. Tell me one reasonable. Nobody? Turab.
Yeah, Wasim says date dimensions, right?
Very good.
Never change.
Very good. That's the only time. Fahad, are you there? That question was for you. Okay.
Yes, I am here.
Yeah, you're supposed to answer that. Okay. The only time a data never changes is when you're doing a lookup on date dimension. Now, let's go back. Can you guys see my screen? You guys can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Yes.
we can.
Okay. So look at this snowflake schema I created. I mean, it doesn't have to be snowflake schema. For example, I'm doing a lookup on year dimension. I'm doing a lookup on store ID dimension. I'm doing a lookup on employee dimension, store dim, employee dim, and year dim. These are my 3 dimensions. You have to understand this. This is my fact, and I'm doing a lookup on 3 dimensions. Will store dim change? It can, right? New stores will come in. Current, like for example, Sears is shutting down so many stores, right? Or Sears is increasing stores. This is changing, but it will change very slow. Like every day, Sears will not open one new store and shut down one new store. Employee dimension, employees will come and leave. What about year? What about months? Will you add a new month? When was the last time a new month was added? When was the last time a new day was added? Like we only have 7 days a week from the past 10,000 years, right? Does that make sense?
Yes.
So when you're doing a lookup on time dimension, you can do persistent lookup cache. Okay. When you're doing a lookup on quarters, when you're doing a lookup on months, weeks, hours, when was the last time a new hour was added? Like we had 24 hours from like forever, and it will be like that forever. Number of weeks, number of days, years, like, is that clear? So no need to build these lookup cache every time you do a look. No need to build lookup cache every time you do a lookup on these tables, time dimension tables. This one can keep changing. This one can keep changing. This one will never change. I can build time dimension table and use it in any company worldwide. I can use this, right? See, Apple will report sales for 2021 for the same number of days as Starbucks, as Target, right? Apple will not have like extra day, or Target will not have one less day, right? They will do it for 360 for the year 2020. They'll do it for the same 365 days. Apple, Target, or Starbucks. Apple, Target, and Starbucks, the number of stores they might have will be different. The number of employees they might have different, but the year will be, the time dimension will be the same. Does that make sense? Clear?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, I was able to cover only one topic. So yeah, this is persistent lookup cache. That means this is performance tuning. It's part of performance tuning. You can say, for example, time dimension in my work has like 83,000, 85,000 rows. Okay. We we create a time dimension at the hourly level. Okay, so time. So what will be the first column in my time dimension? It will be time dim key. Okay, right? It will be time dim key. Then it will be year, month, date, month, year, month, date, and time. So 1 year 2020, month is Jan, date is first day, time is 12 midnight. Okay, time dim key will be 2, same date, same year, same month, and same date, but time will be 1 a.m. after midnight, right? 1 a.m. So this 3, 2020, Jan, date will be the same date, but 2 a.m. Right? This is how time dim is created at my company at hourly level. Is that clear to everyone?
Yes.
So this one, like, it can be used in anybody who is doing reporting at the hourly level. Okay, you can build it at the hourly level, but you don't have to use at the hourly level. Okay, you can just use it at the date level, or you can use it at the month level. You can use it at the year level. Okay. So you can build extra and then just use it for something less. But don't build it for this. Don't build it for date level and then try to do reporting at the hourly level. At the day level, don't do it at the. Actually, we also have Monday date, like day of the week. Date. Okay, so suppose like this. So day is going to be, for example, January 1st was a Monday. So like this. If you're doing reporting at the hourly level, you have to do this. If reporting at the daily level, or the day level, or the month, or the year. So whenever you're doing lookup on time dimension, you'll use persistent lookup cache. You will not unnecessarily create lookup caches. Okay, because that is the thing which will slow down a lookup. So why do a lookup on something which will never change? You just do it one time and keep reusing it. Clear? I'm happy at least one person answered.
Yes.
Okay, so that's it. I did not cover anything today, which is okay. So we already covered 40 classes. 7, 28, 2024. So IICS, Snowflake. Okay, don't confuse the Snowflake with the data modeling Snowflake. Okay, Snowflake is the name of the company. They are very smart. They picked up something which is, the moment in interview, in the job requirement, they say candidate should be good with Snowflake database. A lot of people will apply and say that I know star and Snowflake schema. Okay, they say no, we want somebody with Snowflake database experience, like Oracle database experience. This is a Snowflake database. You saw how big the tables are here, right? You have 144 billion, 9.3 terabyte. My entire laptop's, my entire laptop hard disk is how much? My entire hard disk on this computer is 1 terabyte. So so that table will take 9 disk spaces here. How much? What's the size of my hard disk? Actually, no. See, 917 GB. So if I round it to 1 terabyte, that one table will take 9 disks of like this. Okay. So yeah. Sorry, the other thing I was showing here, when you can puts your SQL overrides here, pre-SQL, post-SQL, all those things. So if you want to, in this catalog table, catalog page, if you want to load only catalog sequence number from 1 to 10, you can go to your here, go to source, go to advanced, and over here you can say where, you can write a where statement here, like source qualifier query. This is your source qualifier query. You cannot double click here and do all that. Okay. You also have option to sort data at the database level, to filter data at the database level, sort data at the database level. You don't have select distinct here at the source level. That's not good. Okay, let me fill up this Excel, and then anybody has any questions while I'm filling up this? Snowflake.
If you don't mind, I will show you the small issue on my a workflow.
Yeah, one second. IICs. Let me not say IICs. Then you guys will say you did not show Informatica Cloud, because IICs Informatica Cloud is the same. I did not show this to any of the previous batches. Informatica Cloud, Snowflake, and look up. Okay, this is the only new topic I covered today. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. You can share your screen. Okay, what did you?
Okay.
Yeah, you can share your screen.
Do you see my screen, Abdul?
Yeah.
Almost, it's the same thing that you did last time in the class.
Mm-hmm.
I was just trying to see like what was going on. Do you remember you said that we can do it without router?
Right.
Here, hold on, let me do this one. 2 seconds, please.
I can see it. It's okay. You don't have to check out. I can still see.
It's not. It's when I read Abdul. So this one is my flat file and dynamic.
Double click on your lookup. I just want to check something there. Go to properties. No, lookup.
I'm sorry.
Go to properties. Scroll down. No. Go up. Stay there. Scroll up and stay there. Go up a little bit. Okay, you selected dynamic lookup cache, and then you said insert else update.
Correct.
Okay.
You know what kind of problem I lived? So I'll show you my.
Show me your source flat file.
Yeah, I'll try to show this one. So you see, Abdul, here I have like a 1 Abdul 20, 2 Ram 20, 2 Ram 30, 1 Abdul 30, and 3 Timur 40, right? It reads everything except Abdul. It didn't read this one also. It read this one and uploaded. This one.
Truncate your target table.
Okay.
And run this.
Sure. If I don't make a mistake, maybe I was like stressed. If I don't make a mistake, I think I did it before, but I will do it with you again.
Truncate. And you don't have truncate table option selected at the database level, at Powercenter level, right?
No. Give me 2 seconds.
Show me your work. Because for these kind of scenarios, you can run debugger and see why it's getting filtered out. But yeah, I can take a look at it. Open. You don't have to check out. It's okay. When you're looking at something, you don't have to check out. You double click on this. You should only check out if you're actually going to make changes. Scroll down. Okay, you don't have truncate table option selected. Double click on lookup.
Feature.
And scroll down. Did you have dynamic look? Okay, dynamic lookup cache is selected. And insert else update is selected. Very good. Double click on update strategy. New lookup row is equals to insert. Okay, that's what I did also. Click
Yes,
OK.
you did this one, right?
Okay. You truncated your target table, right?
Sure, I did.
Okay. Close all flat files and run the workflow. Make sure all flat. Yeah, this one's okay. Okay. Okay, run your workflow.
Okay.
Show me the data.
So 5 and 5.
No, you have to look at affected rows. Okay, show me the data. Because see, this is difficult to troubleshoot from here because you don't have different pipelines, right? So
Yes.
it will read all 5 records, but check the session log. Go back, check the session log. It will tell you how many records it inserted and how many records it updated. It will not show you right here. Go to session log. So this is slightly difficult to troubleshoot because previously you have insert pipeline and update pipeline, right? Go all the way to the bottom. It will tell you how many records it's, start. So records inserted is 1, records updated is 4. Okay, check the data.
Probably I did a mistake here, I think.
Why? New lookup row equals to 1 dd underscore insert, otherwise dd underscore update. That is correct. That's what I did, right?
Correct. Okay, what about this one? Check this one.
Hold on, let me look at my yeah, this one. 1 second here. In depth ID. Go to conditions.
Condition, emp ID.
Emp ID and emp ID. Let me look at my it all looks good.
That's why I was trying to do exactly the same of yours, and later I was trying to make a change on yours to just learn myself. But before it was reading everything except Abdul. Now it read only Timur.
Okay, cancel this. Use a sorter before lookup and sort on employee ID.
Here?
Yeah. Use a sorter and sort on employee ID. It will bring in all, because right now Abdul is not in the same place. And yes, I'm going to look at my dynamic lookup.
Do you think there's gonna be the issue?
I don't know. Let's try that.
Emp ID. You said name or emp ID? Name, right?
Emp ID, emp ID.
Emp ID?
Yeah. Name or emp ID, they are both going to be the same, right? Okay, control S. Drag and drop depth ID also.
Emp ID. Oh.
No, you didn't. It got mismatched. So this is performance tuning. You're supposed to use a lookup before.
You'd be good. Okay.
Control S. Refresh your session and truncate your target table. Truncate, refresh. Control S. Right click and validate. Oh, it's not checked out, right? Yeah, you cannot refresh without checking out. I think I created that and then I made some changes onto it. I don't have that. Did you try that? Just with the...
I watched a video.
No, I didn't try the one you did yesterday.
Okay. It's the table, task cancelled. Okay.
Now run this. I don't think that should be a problem. Check your data now. No. Okay, go back to your mapping. Okay, move that sorter away. That sorter is not a problem. In depth ID. Oh, you're supposed to take emp ID and no. Between update strategy and target, You mapped the wrong columns. Yeah, get rid of those.
Why? This is coming from outside, right?
This is the incoming. But what?
From Flatfile it comes, right?
Yeah. Get rid of the links. Take emp ID and dept ID from the lookup and match it. I'll explain. Take it from emp ID, match it. Take it from dept ID and match it to dept ID. And name, there is no changes, right? So just map it like that. Control S. Okay, refresh your session, workflow, and run it. Truncate your target. Okay, run your workflow. I think it will work now. Okay, check your data. It still says affected rows. No. Show me your mapping.
Abdul, I don't want to keep you here a long time. That's fine. I can
do
it myself.
Yeah, take a look at that.
I will do it myself, no problem. And one more small thing I'll ask you, and that's it. I don't keep you here. Abdul, so you see here we have like a two rows from the target, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here my question is that let's say that we have like a 5, like let's say we have like a 3, okay, and we have here like a 3. So this one here, as you see that this is my join one.
Yes.
And that one is kind of like a MD5, kind of like because it's gonna be update one, which means that it's gonna insert and update on this one if it's new, right? What about if target one has the third one and we don't give anything before?
Your mapping will be invalid.
Invalid, right?
Yeah, you have to, because suppose you have emp ID, dept ID, salary, and the salary also changes. You need to, like in your source flat file, you will have 1 Abdul 10, 1000, 1 Abdul 10, 2000. Somebody entered the wrong salary and they went back and entered the right salary. So 2000 should get updated there. So you should have in salary also.
So it means that after the join, every single thing which can change have to be here,
have an
right?
associate, yeah. Because see, for name you don't have anything, because name is not changing, right?
I see. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Okay. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Please end the class, everyone.